Hello, everybody. It's Scott and Rita again. Cosmic Dialogue number 46. Something new in store for you. We're at cosmicfixer.com or wherever you see us. So, um, why don't you explain what's happening, Rita?
Okay. We are stepping into our gifts a little bit more. And we are going to just see what happens with me channeling one of our audience members who, in our last recording, we specified that our audience primarily is in the spirit world. And we've gone through various indicators to lead us to that conclusion. And that because they are this audience of spirits, they're serving us and we're serving them, and it's a continuous flow that multiplies and benefits all of humanity, whether it's people on earth or people who have been on earth and passed into the spirit world. So I am going to see what comes through, and Scott is going to lead the discussion, and we're just going to see what happens. Beyond that, I don't know.
All right. This is an experiment, and we're just going to be totally open. And so maybe as we begin, I'm just going to, for me, just kind of open up myself and invite whatever happens. And Rita, if you want to just invite anything to come through for you, I'll just invite myself to be in the spirit world too, and we can do our cosmic dialogue from the future or from a point of view of whatever audience person comes through. So, and I'll trust that when you start the process, you will know when to kind of speak and let me know.
Oh, great. It's, there might be a few moments of silence while we transition here.
It's all right. I'll let the camera go on me while you transition, and
okay.
And so it's a little easier for you.
Okay. Rita doesn't feel confident as far as names go, but we are here. So we're here to help, and whatever you would like to ask, we are open to giving you whatever information we have. And we appreciate this opportunity to come and speak here.
So I want to thank you. And I guess the first question I would want to ask is, tell me a little bit about who you are. If you have a name, or if the group has a name, or who you are and what your purpose is.
We are just attracted to what you are doing, and people don't understand that spirits are attracted to what you are doing, what anyone is doing at any given time. It's just whether or not their interests line up with the person on earth. And so we like that you are being courageous and testing these new waters and willing to interact with us. And so we're just a group of spirits who would like to assist you further, because we want to increase the amount of communication that happens between Earth and the spirit realm.
Wonderful. So I want to ask, just have a dialogue with you of a good question probably. Well, maybe I can guide you and see what you would guide was like, what is the most important question that you think right now faces us as humanity, or faces maybe even just Rita and I? What's the most important question that maybe faces us that you can see that we can maybe work upon?
Yes, I would guide you away from that big question of what faces humanity. And just as we noticed, you said, the change me first. That is extremely important. That is the most important thing you can do. And let me just consult with the group about that question of what is your biggest question personally between the work you and Rita are doing. There's a little bit of uncertainty about that question, about answering it. It feels more like you need to find it on your own. And we trust that you are going to continue on this path of looking to the next question to be answered. And we're here to assist you with whatever your questions are.
Okay. What are your names? Or if you're willing, or you may have many names, or you may have no names. So tell us a little bit about you.
Well, we all have names. Rachel is one of us, as you have already had contact. Rita has contact with Sandra. And Rita just is not, she's not confident yet in being accurate in hearing names. And she just, has to work through that a little bit more. We're mostly women. And I think that is because of this willingness to be of service, that more women are willing to do that than men. And we are learning to do that in a way that is beneficial rather than something that is expected of us. And we feel that you two are doing the same thing.
I'm sitting here kind of in awe and just in the silence, and I think that's probably good. Probably seeing that this is something new for Rita, so there's some laboriousness in language. And there's just the translation of language, I'm sure. But I wonder,
Rita really wants to get it right, and we want to assure both of you that it's okay to make mistakes.
Good. Good. So I guess I'm also wondering too, spiritually, when we speak from the future, and we speak from the future and we dialogue from the future as if it is now, could you speak a little bit about time and timelines and how, if whatever you want to impart right now, because we will learn, just if you want to impart something about that kind of, this kind of dialogue we've been engaging in our experience of time.
Well, we are very excited to do that with you. That is something that obviously we can do amongst each other. And we have been, and we've been seeing people move on away from us. And that's really curious to us. And we feel that doing what you call this cosmic dialogue with you will help you understand what it does rather than telling you what it does. Because we're still learning ourselves what that's all about.
So it sounds to me like this is an energy all in itself, and that it is a process all in itself that is probably just for the experiencer, for the one or ones who are experiencing it, maybe just as a gift that we get to unwrap and discover. Is that more accurate?
Yes, I believe there's something accurate in there. As you were talking, I just felt that we are really interested in people knowing that even after they pass, we still want to progress and we still want things. We still have desires. We're still human souls, and we still have things we need to learn. And so why not do it while you're on Earth? Why not experiment with everything that's available to you while you're on Earth? We would rather see people doing it while they're in their physical bodies, because that's just another realm, another place where evidence can show up for everything that is available for people in the universe. Does that make sense to you?
Yes. One question I have too, and I know that there are like just lots of questions, I'm very fascinated, and this may be something I will have to figure out. A question that's really come across to me is this: do we live many lives, or do we live one life? A life here that continues in the spirit world, then continues back on Earth? Or are all those things possible? That's a big question that I have been wondering, and sort of me experiencing that. I wonder if you can shed any light.
That is something that so many people are interested in, and we feel that it's a way to divert from themselves. And what we see is that we passed as the same. When we passed, we were the same, except we didn't have a physical body. So we had the same problems to work through. And it's difficult to explain to someone who is still in their physical body. But what I can say is that there are many misconceptions about many lives. We are always the same soul. That's the most accurate thing I can say about it. And that you don't get to just come back and start over. That's what I know for certain.
I get an intuitive feeling that there is something very different happening in I have a very intuitive feeling that my earthly ego somehow wants to step in and ask you questions as if you are some kind of benevolent guru. But intuitively, I feel that that is inaccurate.
We wanted to say the same thing. We are just maybe a little bit ahead of you just because we have had experiences that you haven't had yet, but that we are very close in our development.
Okay. It was a very strong feeling that I had at that moment to say, I am speaking from ego to think that perhaps benevolence is beyond my own truth. So, and maybe that's just another intuitive clue that I've been picking up, that, we are just as benevolent and able to use our gifts and our own free will, talents, abilities, just as anyone in the spirit realm. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yes, very much so. We are learning right alongside you, and that's why we're so grateful, because we are interested in what you're doing, because we can see the changes that have happened for both you and Rita as you commit yourself to knowing truth and taking actions with the intention of being ethical and loving, and questioning your motives pretty much every step of the way. And if you feel you've made a mistake, you are learning to handle that with yourself lovingly. And that's one of the things that we are learning also.
What are some of the things? Oh, go ahead.
And that's why we are excited to just do the process with you.
I wonder what you wonder about.
Everything. We have reached a place where we are no longer struggling. Some of us have come from very dark places and have had to feel our way and follow our faith and our trust out of those dark places in ways that didn't make sense to us until we were choosing to follow faith, which we heard you and Rita speak about earlier.
So I can assume that no matter the realm, we can choose as human beings on earth to begin questioning, to begin following faith, to begin our wonderment developing. And it is just the same in this spirit realm. We can choose then as well.
This is the most important thing we want to impart here is that you can stop struggling now, even though you're in your physical body and you have all the rules of society pressing down on you. And we know that people don't understand that. And we didn't understand it either at all. We've been working at this for a very long time, and we would like to help you, if only you too, we would like to help you make that a shorter journey. Because some of us have been here for hundreds of years. If you can imagine, hundreds of years in darkness.
I'm very grateful to be witnessing this and sharing. So I'm very grateful that you came through to be our audience. And as we learn, I'm sure there may be more questions. And if you have questions for us, I think that that's probably very appropriate. If we're to learn together, that's another intuitive feeling I have right now, is that if we're to learn together, that perhaps what other folks think of as channeled spirit communication is a little different than possibly the reality.
We like that very much. It's our intention to learn together and to do this. We are not here to impart wisdom, except to show, to share our experience. That's all we can do, is share the experience that we've had. And we want to not be seen as someone better than you.
To me, that feels very honest, very true, very powerfully paradigm splitting. And I love that.
Everyone here is laughing because most of us have difficulty really even feeling as good as you, let alone better. and that's one of the things that we are learning, to be okay with being this as good as we are. If that probably sounds kind of crazy, but that's one of the things we have difficulty with, and we know that you and Rita also have that difficulty, which is why we are interested in what you're doing, and you're helping us.
So if I just want to summarize this, it sounds like a huge, tremendous, and I want to be thankful for that, it sounds like a huge, tremendous opportunity. This kind of channeling and this kind of communication feels to me like it is like the biggest opportunity that not only we get to progress, Rita and I, but through our progression, through our own continued work and dialogue, and through continued changing ourselves, there's an opportunity probably for everyone. You know, we shine a light that there's an opportunity and an invitation for everyone, that when we do this thing, we aren't alone, and perhaps those who are not in this physical realm also can progress. Would you say that's accurate?
Let me make sure I understand the question. That And it's not just when you do this future speaking, it's always. When you have a feeling, a spirit can be attracted to you. And it's important to know this, whether it's a conscious feeling or an unconscious feeling. You are attracting not only people, but spirits that people don't understand how connected the earth is to the spirit realm. And this feels more complicated than we want to get into right now. And I forgot to answer your question. And I forgot what the question is.
It's all right. I think that through that we may discover an answer that perhaps, like as you say, is as we on Earth are continually waking perhaps, or reaching into our gifts, changing ourselves, that perhaps it's just our ego and a shadow side telling us that we don't affect the entire universe. And that universe means spirit realm, ultra-dimensional realm, galaxies. If we have a thought, then that can help you along with us.
Well, this is something that we wanted to say. It doesn't exactly answer your question, but there are many people channeling for the sake of building themselves up. Not only the people on earth channeling, but the spirits who are being channeled want to build themselves up and feel that they're helping and being, well, that guru that you mentioned earlier. And that's not our intention at all. And if you and Rita got into that place, we wouldn't be able to speak with you the way we want to.
I understand. I don't believe that Rita and I want to elevate anyone for our purpose or their purpose to a guru or more benevolent being than we are. I don't want to speak for Rita, but that's how I feel. It's I would much rather feel I'm in partnership, walking alongside and learning, being.
Yes, we can feel that Rita agrees. And that's why we have been attracted to the two of you, because you've done it so well together. And your biggest desire is that people will join you and have that same interest in building something together. And that's why we're here.
Do you have that desire too?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Do you have the same? Sometimes it hurts. I feel it. And I don't know where it comes from. I feel a pain about those that I love, or those that I care about, who, and I don't want to get into an egoic label, but there is a strong pain because of the love that I have for someone, and maybe it's just my attachment. But do you also feel that when you feel that I would love for this person to release their burden. And then you know that if that doesn't happen, does that also cause you anguish? Do you feel that as well? Or is that an earthly feeling?
I think you've touched upon the thing where we have progressed just a little farther than you, in that we have felt that. And we have watched people reject what we have learned and continue to feel pain. And we have had to allow them to feel and make their own choices, and to get out of putting any demands on them, even if it's a demand to be happier or feel better or relieve themselves of a feeling of physical pain. That's where we are maybe just a little bit farther ahead of you, and we understand what you are talking about there.
Yeah, I wonder if that is just a condition of earthliness, of feeling the need for empathy, and one side of empathy is that maybe that is our lesson through this empathy we have of attachment.
Here's something that maybe will explain it better, is that, as I said earlier, some people have left our group, and we have chosen to notice the changes that made them leave. And that makes us curious to where they have gone and why they left. And it's easier to see the changes in the spirit body when you're in the spirit world. And so people have a more difficult time on earth accepting evidence, spiritual evidence. So we have had to leave groups of spirits we felt a friendship with, a love for the sake of our own progression and improvement of our soul. Just to get here. And then we all know here now that we will have to leave each other and possibly meet up later in the new place. Is that something that you can understand?
Yes, but I'm so intrigued, and maybe sometime we can converse about that new place, even if you are wondering what it is. That to me sounds just amazingly, when you said you going to the new place, maybe that's another conversation we can have, and maybe we can assist you in dialoguing about that new place. So
yes, we feel that that's what our dialogue will be about. We'll just be imagining what the new place is, and possibly attracting spirits from the new place when we get into the feeling that we can really go to a new, bigger, expansive, more abundant place even than where we are now. Which is it's a new situation, it's a new feeling for all of us that's even possible.
sounds strangely familiar to my dreams of being moved into a new space astrally.
We know we were there.
So I understand the curiosity of what that means. So as my new space opens, so will yours. So happy to help you on that journey as we help ourselves too, and as you help us to open up our new spaces. So that sounds creatively wonderful about more of a partnership in learning than most of anything that we've been told about channeled spirits and about our own progression. And so this is it's new, but it feels right to me. Probably feels very right to Rita. So, but yeah, I understand. I feel that same expectation about when I move into a new space, whatever that is.
We feel right now that we will just be moving before the dialogue. We feel like this is a good place to stop for now so that we can all just experience this connection that we've made. And we want Rita to know that, well, she doesn't like us talking about her, but we're going to anyway. That we appreciate the discomfort she feels and that it will get easier to do this. And that this is a natural thing that anybody can do. So it's nothing to feel embarrassed about.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for your time.
You're very welcome, and we look forward to talking with you again.
Excellent.